Imagine you're on a yacht gliding across the turquoise waters of the Atlantic Ocean. The sea breeze is salty, the sun is brilliant, and the horizon stretches out endlessly. You're in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. But do you know that just beneath those waters lies a massive grave of hundreds of ships and planes? This is no fairy tale. It's a real-life warning. This is the story of a region of the sea known as the Devil's Triangle, where compasses become useless. The sky becomes a mirror reflecting madness, and time itself seems to bend. What happened to the planes that vanished without a trace? Could some supernatural force have swallowed them whole? Or were they just the victims of fatal human error? Join me as we dive into the abyss of truth and rumor to explore the ocean's greatest mystery. We'll begin with an event that became the US Navy's worst nightmare. Have you ever heard the legends of the ocean? Tales of giant ships and modern planes that suddenly vanish into thin air, leaving no trace behind. Such a place exists, marked by 3 points on a map: the island of Bermuda, the state of Florida in the US, and the island of Puerto Rico. These 3 points form a vast triangle in the Atlantic Ocean, ominously named the Bermuda Triangle. On a map, it looks no different from any other sea, still a brilliant blue with sun and wind. But hidden beneath that peaceful exterior, hundreds of terrifying disappearance stories have turned it into one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Many believe this is just a coincidence, that these disappearances happened randomly over decades. But is that the truth? Or is there a force waiting, an ancient curse cast upon this sea, turning it into a place from which no one can return? From ancient merchant ships to modern combat squadrons, all have been swallowed by this region. We have no answers, only stories, accounts, and the final fragments of memory before everything descends into silence. And the most terrifying story, the one that cemented the Bermuda Triangle as a legend, began on a winter day in 1945. In 1945, World War II had just ended. The world was returning to normal life, but at a US Naval air station in Florida, an unusual event occurred, beginning a series of unsolved mysteries. On December 5, 1945, 5 Avenger bombers, powerful and reliable aircraft, took off for a routine training mission. Under the command of Lieutenant Charles Taylor, an experienced pilot, the squadron was named Flight 19. Their mission was simple: fly east, drop bombs on a simulated target at sea, and return to base. Everything went smoothly until they flew over the Bahamas. At that moment, a worried voice came over the air traffic control radio. It was Lieutenant Taylor's. "We are at a position. We don't know where we are. Everything is strange. Even the ocean doesn't look normal." His words sent a shock wave through the control tower. An experienced pilot like Taylor shouldn't lose his way on a simple mission. His voice became more panicked and fragmented. "We can't find our direction. My compass is spinning, and everything here is wrong." Then another voice came on, from another pilot in the squadron. "It looks like we're heading into white water, completely lost." Control couldn't do anything but listen. They told Taylor to head west, but he insisted. "We don't know where west is. Everything's messed up. We're going into white water." Then all signals went completely silent. All 5 bombers and the 14 crew members vanished as if they had never existed. But the story didn't end there. A PBM Mariner search and rescue plane, carrying 13 people, was sent to find Flight 19. This plane also vanished mysteriously, leaving no distress signal, no wreckage. This raises the question: did the Bermuda Triangle not only swallow ships and planes, but also the efforts to rescue them? Almost 30 years before Flight 19's disappearance, a similar but no less horrifying event occurred, involving a giant of the US Navy. In 1918, the supply ship USS Cyclops, one of the largest ships in the fleet at the time, left the port of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. With a displacement of over 19,000 tons and a length of 165 meters, the Cyclops was not a small, easily forgotten vessel. It was designed to carry coal and was a symbol of military power. Aboard were 306 sailors and passengers, along with a large amount of cargo. According to the schedule, the Cyclops was supposed to arrive at the port of Baltimore, Maryland. However, the ship never made it. Just a few weeks after it left port, the ship was reported to have completely disappeared. No distress signal was sent, no wreckage was ever found on the sea surface. It seemed to have evaporated, dissolving into thin air, leaving a huge void in naval history. The US Navy launched a massive investigation, but no one could explain what had happened. All 306 people and the colossal ship were erased from the world map, becoming one of the greatest unexplained mysteries of all time. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops is particularly terrifying because it wasn't a small, fragile boat. It was a steel monster of the ocean, sturdy and capable of withstanding storms. Yet that wasn't enough to save it from a horrifying fate in this part of the sea. What had the power to swallow a massive ship like that? Was it caught in some mysterious force? Something mentioned in the sailors' whispered tales? Following a series of mysterious disappearances, scientists and experts stepped in to seek a logical explanation, rather than relying solely on ghostly stories. One of the most supported theories relates to a gas that exists deep on the ocean floor: methane hydrate. Methane hydrate is a form of ice that traps methane gas molecules inside. It forms under high pressure and extremely cold temperatures, usually on the continental shelf. This theory suggests that when the temperature rises or pressure changes, the methane hydrate melts and releases a large amount of methane gas. This gas bubbles up to the sea surface, creating a massive area of bubbling water. And what happens to a ship when it enters this area? It loses buoyancy. The buoyancy of water decreases significantly with a large amount of gas bubbles. A ship, no matter how large and sturdy, will lose its balance and sink to the ocean floor quickly. Scientists have even conducted experiments showing that a boat can sink instantly if it enters a gas-saturated area. For planes, these gas plumes could also be the cause. When methane gas rises into the air, it can create air turbulence, disrupt engines, or even cause a plane to catch fire upon contact with an electrical spark. Another scientific theory focuses on weather and geological factors. The Bermuda Triangle is a place where tropical storms and powerful hurricanes are frequent, creating huge waves and strong winds. Additionally, it's one of the few areas in the world with an unusually large magnetic variation. This variation can cause compasses to malfunction, leading sailors and pilots to lose their bearings. In bad weather conditions, an inaccurate compass can lead to poor decisions, sending ships and planes into dangerous areas without their knowledge. While these theories seem plausible, they still can't explain everything. Is the disappearance of hundreds of vehicles just a random combination of natural factors? Or is there something else at play, something science still can't explain? In complete contrast to the scientific theories, there are other tales and theories that are purely supernatural, even science fiction. These stories often come from witnesses who survived strange experiences in the Bermuda Triangle. They describe phenomena that cannot be explained by any law of physics. One of the most famous theories is about black holes or time bubbles. According to this, the area is not a place that swallows vehicles, but a doorway to another dimension or time. Proponents of this theory often refer to the stories of pilot Bruce Jernan. In 1970, while flying over the Bermuda Triangle, he claimed to have encountered a giant donut-shaped cloud. When he flew through it, he saw his compass and other electronic devices malfunction. He then unexpectedly flew out of the cloud and realized he had covered a distance of 100 miles in just a few minutes. His time seemed to have been bent in an unbelievable way. Other stories go even further, mentioning the interference of aliens or an ancient civilization at the bottom of the sea. Some believe the Bermuda Triangle is the location of the lost city of Atlantis, and that its energy crystals are still active, causing magnetic and energy disturbances. These crystals could create a powerful energy field strong enough to pull in both ships and planes. Although these theories are not widely accepted by science, they hold a special fascination for the public, as they allow us to dream about a world beyond what we know. They turn the Bermuda Triangle not just into a mystery, but also a place of magic and wonder. But could it all just be a fabrication? Or do these stories contain a kernel of truth that humans are not yet capable of grasping? While supernatural theories are compelling, a more realistic and less dramatic perspective offers a simple explanation: human error. Perhaps there is no mystery to the Bermuda Triangle at all. It's just a place where bad decisions converge. Let's reconsider the disappearances. Flight 19, one of the most famous cases, was commanded by an experienced pilot, but was he completely without fault? Many believe Lieutenant Taylor made a crucial mistake. He was unfamiliar with the Avenger aircraft he was training in and relied on outdated navigation equipment. In bad weather, losing one's bearings is entirely possible. Some reports even suggest that Taylor may have confused his location and ordered the squadron to fly east instead of west, causing them to fly further into the Atlantic and run out of fuel. Similarly, with hundreds of other ship accidents, were they all victims of a curse? Or were they due to careless decisions? Many merchant ships and fishing boats risk going out in unfavorable weather, or they weren't properly maintained. Sudden tropical storms could easily capsize these ships, and the lack of communication technology in previous decades made a rescue call hopeless. A sinking ship is not uncommon on the open sea, and neither is a plane crash due to technical failure. Perhaps we are just trying to find a more thrilling story than what really happened. This perspective presents a harsh truth. Mysteries don't always come from supernatural forces. Sometimes the explanation is right in front of us, but it's too simple to accept. Some researchers and journalists have directly questioned, is the Bermuda Triangle really a uniquely dangerous place? Or is it all just a story exaggerated by the media? According to them, if we analyze it closely, the Bermuda Triangle could be just a modern myth, built from fragmented facts and blown out of proportion. For example, reporter Larry Kusch, in his famous book The Bermuda Triangle Mystery, Solved, spent years investigating the disappearances. He found that many of these stories had been distorted. Some accidents didn't actually happen in the Bermuda Triangle. Others, while occurring in the area, had logical explanations like storms or technical failures, or the wreckage had actually been found, but these details were left out of the news reports. Furthermore, statistics show that the number of air and sea accidents in the Bermuda Triangle is not significantly higher than in other busy sea lanes worldwide. This is a bustling traffic route, with thousands of ships and planes passing through each year. It's inevitable that some accidents will occur. The only difference is that the accidents here were labeled mysterious and became part of a legend. The growth of mass media also played a crucial role in creating this myth. Stories of mysterious disappearances always have a great attraction for the public. Journalists, writers, and film directors have capitalized on this to create thrilling tales, turning the Bermuda Triangle into a symbol of the unknown. This exaggeration has obscured the truth, turning isolated accidents into a single, one-of-a-kind phenomenon. So, is the Bermuda Triangle truly a cursed sea, or is it just a place where we, with our endless curiosity, have inadvertently created a story that is greater than itself. From the horrifying disappearances of Flight 19 and the USS Cyclops, to the scientific theories of methane gas and the supernatural tales of time warps, we have journeyed through a fascinating exploration. Each theory offers a different perspective, but no single explanation is truly perfect. If we believe in science, we can conclude that the Bermuda Triangle is just a dangerous area due to natural factors and human error. If we believe in the mystical stories, we might think there is some mysterious force at play. If we believe the counter-argument, we can conclude it's all a product of the media. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle, and we may never have the final answer. The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is not just about missing ships or planes, but also about humanity's unquenchable curiosity. It's a reminder that the world still holds many things we don't understand. No matter how advanced science becomes, no matter how much technology progresses, there will always be places on this planet we can't explain. And that is the beauty of mystery. So, is the Bermuda Triangle really a sea with no escape, or is it just a doorway that leads us to a great story we never want to end?